Welcome to the March 13th, 2024 Disciplinary Petition Committee meeting. My name is Renee Barker, chairperson of the committee meeting today. Before we convene, I'd like to remind everyone present that the board is a consumer protection agency charged with administering and enforcing pharmacy law. Where protection of the public is inconsistent with other interests sought to be promoted, the protection of the public shall be paramount. As I facilitate this meeting, I will announce when we are accepting public comment. I have advised the meeting moderator to allot 3 minutes to each individual providing comments. We will begin with public comments for individuals attending in person, followed by public comments by individuals participating via WebEx. This approach is necessary to facilitate this meeting. Before we get started, I would like to ask staff moderating the meeting to provide general instructions.
This is the moderator. When public comment is requested, I, the moderator, will turn on the WebEx question and answer feature to facilitate this. Comments should be limited to the topic that is addressed during that specific agenda item. It will display instructions on the screen each time, and members may click on the question mark, typically at the lower right-hand corner of their WebEx screen, type the word comment into a text box, and then click send for their request to be recognized. You may also choose to raise your hand by clicking the hand icon at the bottom row of your computer's WebEx screen, or if you are a call-in only user, you may press *3 on your device to raise your hand. You'll be then invited to unmute yourselves and given 3 minutes to speak with a 10-second warning. At the end of that time, your microphone will then be muted and we will move on to the next commenter. I believe that is all for my instructions.
Thank you. I would now like to take a roll call to establish a quorum. Jesse Crowley.
Licensee member present.
KK Jaw. Looks like KK hasn't joined yet, so maybe technical issues. Sung Oh.
Here.
Maria Serpa.
Good morning, licensee member present.
Okay, I think we will continue. Thank you, and we will wait to hear from KK. A quorum of the committee is established. Before we move to the next agenda item, I would like to remind committee members participating via WebEx to please remain visible on camera throughout the open portion of today's meeting. Members, if you need to temporarily turn off your camera due to challenges with internet connectivity, please remember to announce the reason for your non-appearance when you turn off your camera. We'll go to agenda item 2, public comment for items not on the agenda. We will now accept public comment for items not on the agenda. You are not required to identify yourself, but may do so. I would like to remind everyone that the committee cannot take action on these items except to decide whether to place an item on a future agenda. Members, following review of the public comments for this agenda item, I will ask members to comment on what, if any, items should be placed on a future agenda. As a reminder, this agenda item is not intended to be a discussion, rather an opportunity for members of the committee and members of the public to request consideration of an item for future placement on an agenda, at which time discussion may occur. We will begin with public comment from individuals participating in the Sacramento location. Do we have any participants at the Sacramento location? Last I heard, we do not. So I think we will go to public comments.
Yeah, there are no members of the public in the Sacramento hearing room location. I apologize for the delay there.
Thanks, Anne, for confirming. Thank you. So, moderator, we're ready for public comment from individuals participating via WebEx.
All right, this is the moderator, and at the direction of the committee, I have opened up the Q&A feature for public comment. Members of the public, if you would like to make a comment for items not on the agenda, please click the Q&A icon located at the bottom right-hand corner of your WebEx screen, or use the raise hand function. And audio-only participants may raise their hand by pressing *3 on their device. And it looks like we do have a request from Keith Yoshizuka. And Keith, you will be given 3 minutes to speak and a 10-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Community. I apologize. I thought this was going to be a meeting of the full board, but in either case, for next month's in April, either the Legislation and Regulation Committee or the Licensing Committee, I'd like as a possible agenda item to consider revision to California Code of Regulations 1793.65, having to do with pharmacy technician certification programs that were approved by the board. The existing regulation is valid through December 31st, 2024. That's the end of this year. Given the amount of time it takes for the public comment process, and I believe that the board is working on revising the regulation, but given the shortage of pharmacy technicians out in the available in the workforce, I'd like the board to have a little bit more time and possibly extend this deadline by 6 to 12 months to allow for a full process. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment.
All right, this is the moderator. It appears there are no further requests for public comment. Would you like me to close that Q&A panel?
Yes, thank you. I will now bring the discussion back to members. Are there any items you would like to place on a future agenda? Okay, I think we'll finish the comment section. Agenda item 3, petitions for reinstatement of licensure, early termination, or other modification of penalty. As included on the agenda, we will be considering several petitions today. I would now like to turn the meeting over to Administrative Law Judge Alan Alvord to preside over the hearings.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. Do you have a preference as to the order in which we take the petition hearings this morning?
No,
Okay.
just as you would like to present them or as they're available.
Okay. Unless someone indicates otherwise, we'll take them in the order that they're listed on the agenda.
Okay,
My understanding is someone will be recording the hearings.
Yes, and I would also like to ask, we'd like to request to be allowed to have one of the board members enter questions into the chat, and I can read them for the record as her voice is failing her.
Questions for the petitioners? Sure,
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And do we have the Deputy Attorney General present?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I'm here.
All right, good morning. So for the petitioners that are listening, the way this will work is we will take each case one at a time. My name's Alan Alvord. I'm one of the administrative law judges at the California Office of Administrative Hearings, and my role here today is to assist and advise the committee in conducting the hearings. So, and we'll be recording the hearings. So I'll say on the record and off the record as we go. And on the record means we're recording as part of the record for the hearing. And off the record means we're not recording as part of the record for the hearing at that moment. So I think we will begin with the petition for Hassan. Is the petitioner Hassan present? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Thank you,
Right,
Mr.
good morning.
Hassan. My name is Tony Park. I'm counsel for petitioner Hassan, and he is on his iPad and he's going to be on any second.
Okay, Tony Park, attorney. All right, and I'll be taking notes as we go. All right, so let's go on the record in the matter of the petition concerning Afam Hassan. This is a matter before the Board of Pharmacy as case number 6803. The Office of Administrative Hearings, case number is 2024030243. I'm Alan Albert, the Administrative Law Judge assigned to advise and assist the committee in this hearing. Can I have the committee members introduce themselves so that the record will indicate and recognize their voices?
Yes, thank you. I'm Renee Barker, licensee member.
My name's Jessica Crowley, licensee member.
It has joined. KK, do you want to maybe announce?
Sorry, Sung, I could not understand that.
Oh, I think you just going down the roll call.
Yes, sir, present, sorry.
And I'm here, Sung-Oh, licensee member. Sorry for my voice. I am
Hello?
our counsel's.
Are you on WebEx now?
Tony, you're muted.
Excuse me, sir. Just 1 second.
And lastly, it's Maria Serpa. I'm a licensee member also.
Sung, if you don't mind, can I just do a little mic check? Am I audible?
You're there. Yes, you're there.
Okay, thank you. I had to fix something with the audio, but thank you.
Okay, and can I have the Deputy Attorney General enter her appearance as well?
Good morning. I am Deputy Attorney General Christina Jarvis, and I'm appearing here on behalf of the Attorney General for the people of the state of California. My role is not adversarial, but it is intended to protect the public interest.
Okay, I did it. Start
It
video.
appears that Mr. Hassan is having some trouble getting on camera.
Apologies, Your Honor. Mr. Hassan, I just IT'd supported him, and so he should be at least he should be present at least audio wise, and he's just pushed his video, and so he should be on. Oh, there he is.
All right, I think we can see Mr. Hassan now. Thank you. All right. Ms. Jarvis, would you like to make any opening remarks concerning this petition? Ms. Jarvis? I think we might have lost her. It looks like, oh, still here. Ms. Jarvis, are you with us? All right, well, we'll go ahead. I have, Ms. Jarvis, I'd just like to hear from you to make sure that you're still with us.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is board staff. We're going to reach out to Deputy Attorney General Jarvis. We'll be right back with you.
All right, thank you. Let's go off the record. This sort of thing happens in our remote hearings all the time, so it's not unusual.
Your Honor, again, this is board staff. We were able to speak with Deputy Attorney General Jarvis. She is trying to reconnect now. Thank you for your patience.
All right, thank you. And thank you everyone else for your patience.
Good morning. This is board staff again. I just wanted to let you know we did just check back with the Deputy Attorney General. They're trying to log on with a different device.
Thank you.
Sorry, board staff, one more time. We do believe that Deputy Attorney General Jarvis is back in the meeting.
Jarvis, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear and see me?
We can hear and I can see.
Wonderful. Thank you. I apologize for that.
All right, let's go back on the record. Ms. Jarvis, did you want to make any opening comments concerning Mr. Hassan's petition on behalf of the Attorney General's office?
Yes, well, I will present the petition. So not an opening statement, just the presentation itself.
All right.
Okay, this matter
Just go ahead.
Thank you. This matter arose via an accusation that was filed on March 30th, 2020 against petitioner's pharmacist license due to an approximately 13-month period when he was the pharmacist in charge, or PIC, of United Family Pharmacy in San Jacinto. Petitioner entered into a stipulated settlement, which became effective on January 5th, 2021, for a 4-year probation term. Petitioner's probation was told for some time, approximately 10 months, due to a lack of employment, and it is now scheduled to terminate in October of 2025. However, at this time, petitioner has completed enough time on probation to be eligible to petition for this early termination of probation. Now, to briefly go over the causes for discipline, the first was failing to maintain a current inventory of promethazine with codeine and alprazolam IR 2 milligrams. During the time petitioner was the PIC, he lost or was unable to account for 72,842 milliliters, which is 154 pints of promethazine with codeine, and 1,995 tablets of alprazolam IR 2 milligrams. At this pharmacy, there was only one login and a shared password to place orders for controlled substances. Another pharmacist respondent in the underlying case stated that he himself relied upon the pharmacy technician to order the drugs because he was not familiar with the pharmacy software. This indicates that the technician had access to the pharmacy software to order controlled substances at any time. Both that pharmacist and petitioner signed for the receipt of the delivery of these drugs while they each were the PIC for this pharmacy. The second cause for discipline was failing to maintain the security of the pharmacy for the conduct just discussed. The third cause for discipline was failing to report to the Department of Justice system, the CURES system. The board inspector found 30 prescriptions that petitioner had failed to report during that 13 months that he was the PIC. The fourth cause for discipline was unprofessional conduct for all of the above. For the board's consideration, petitioner has also been issued 2 citations. Now, one was issued in 2022. This was for conduct that was immediately prior to or within the first few weeks after petitioner's probation became effective. This was for dispensing 16 uncertain prescriptions between June of 2019 and January of 2021. Now, this was at a different pharmacy, a new pharmacy. This seems to have been an electronic prescription issue. I've only reviewed the citations in this matter, so I can only tell you what they say. The citation was issued without a fine, but with an order of abatement for 2 hours of remedial education. The second citation was issued in 2023, and this was for conduct between June of 2018 and June. This was at the new pharmacy. This was a pharmacy in Palm Desert. And at that time, he had shipped 84 prescriptions during 3 years to patients in states where the pharmacy did not hold licensure. Again, this citation does not appear to have an administrative fine attached. However, despite these 2 citations, according to the probation terms, petitioner has been 100% compliant with probation. He has paid $3,344.51 in cost recovery, which is the entire amount required. Now, with the petition, petitioner provided the following documents: proof of 217.5 hours of continuing education, a 6-page letter from his attorney summarizing the petition packet, 2 1099 tax forms showing that he had worked for 2 different pharmacies, a list of the hours worked for the first quarter of 2023 and all 4 quarters of 2022, license information printed from the DCA Breeze, BREEZE system of the licensure for those 2 pharmacies where he works. There's also a copy of the check for proof of payment of investigation and prosecution costs, as I already stated, a letter regarding probation monitoring costs and proof of payment of those costs, several correspondence documents between the board's probation monitor and respondent regarding completion of remedial education, approvals, and completion evidence, proof of completion of the ethics course, and petitioner's resume. In addition, petitioner provided a personal statement wherein he states that he has had significant unemployment since being placed on probation. Since finding part-time jobs with 2 pharmacies, he has worked in compliance with the disciplinary action and has proven himself to be a reliable pharmacist. He wishes to terminate probation to seek other job opportunities, to be able to travel to Bangladesh to visit his parents, and otherwise to improve his quality of life. Petitioner provided 6 letters of recommendation, 4 of which were verified, only 4 of which were attempted to be verified. 2 of these letters are what we've been calling, quote, group recommendation letters, where someone unknown wrote the letters and then had multiple people sign each one at the bottom. While that is certainly odd and not at all what is expected from a recommendation letter, all 6 of the letters actually show unsettling similarities. They all start with the exact same paragraph. They all write petitioner's first name in all capital letters throughout the letters. They all have the same last 2 paragraphs, which are also bolded and italicized. And then the 2 citizen letters, when they were contacted for verification, they stated to board staff that they were not aware of the discipline imposed by the board, and they are not familiar with petitioner's activities since the discipline was imposed. Yet both of those letters swear under penalty of perjury in 2 of those common paragraphs that the authors have read and understood the disciplinary order. It doesn't appear that those, quote, writers actually reviewed the letters that they signed, and therefore I cannot recommend that the board lend any credence whatsoever to these letters. At this time, I would like to identify and move as Exhibit 1, the petition packet consisting of all of those documents just identified, and then also including the notice of hearing bringing us here today, an agreement for electronic recording, a memorandum to the board from staff summarizing the probation, and the underlying decision and order in this matter. I would like that to be admitted for all purposes.
Is there any objection to Exhibit 1 being admitted into evidence?
From me, no objection, Your Honor.
All right. Exhibit 1 is admitted into evidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I would like to cede the floor to petitioner.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Park?
Thank you, Your Honor. May I begin?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Your Honor. If it please Your Honor and the Board of Pharmacy, the style in which we would like to present our presentation would be that of a direct examination style, where I ask some basic questions to make sure that Petitioner Hassan is able to cover all the materials that he would like to relay to Your Honor as well as the Board of Pharmacy. Would that be acceptable?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, it's fine with me. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Hassan, can you hear me and see me, and are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Hassan. Mr. Hassan.
Before we start, let me just place Mr. Hassan under oath. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this legal proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, Mr. Hassan, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hassan, how long have you been a pharmacist?
I am a pharmacist since 1980.
Okay. 1980, so about 40 plus years, is that?
Yes.
Before this accusation that caused you to be on the current probation here, have you been subject to any disciplinary actions in California or any other state?
No.
Looking back to the accusation and the 4 causes for discipline that the Deputy Attorney General just articulated, do you remember those 4 causes for discipline and why you were subject to those?
Yes, I am.
So the first 2 causes for discipline had to do with the failure to maintain the inventory as well as the failure to maintain the security of alprazolam 2 milligram tablets and promethazine with codeine cough syrup. Is that correct?
Yes.
And those are controlled substances, are they not?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the current law regarding the controlled substance inventory and reconciliation requirements according to the current laws on this subject?
Yes.
Can you briefly characterize what the law says or requires?
C2 drug need to be inventory taken and every 3 months or 90 days, and the casual like a alprazolam 1 milligram, alprazolam 2 milligram, and tramadol 50 milligram, and Phenergan with codeine, and need to take the inventory every 1 year.
So when you say take inventory, is it just that you need to count them?
Yeah, you have to physically you count it, and then you record it, and you put the medication back to the cabinet locker.
Okay. Is there a reconciliation required as well?
Yes.
With respect to the third cause for discipline that you were subject to regarding the cures upload requirement, do you recall being subject to that accusation?
Yes, I
What is
do.
the current? What is the current law? What is your understanding of the current law regarding?
Well, when I was accused, that time it was every week to report the DOJ, and now every day, end of the working, you have to submit the statement to the DOJ.
Okay. Do you believe that you've learned from your prior mistakes?
Yes, I do. First thing is that promethazine with codeine and alprazolam. What happened? That's the short of the medication or something. Now, if the medication delivered by the driver, by the company, the McKesson or whatever, and we check immediately, and we tell the technician, do not open the box or toe, only the pharmacist can open. So when I am on the duty, I open the box, and then I verify with my inventory or order or invoice. With the invoice, the McKesson send it, and then exact amount or not. If it's the exact amount and everything, then I tell the McKesson driver, you can go. At the meantime, I take all the medication, I put the sticker, and then immediately I put on the shelf, mean that control 2 drug, which cabinet we keep it, and we lock it. At the same token, and I want to tell everyone that we install the camera for the double protection. We recording this cabinet 24 hours. So if any issue, right, so we can check it. And only this cabinet can be the Schedule 2 drug to Schedule 5 drug open and or close the key by the pharmacist.
When you receive the drugs, who signs for the drugs?
Signed drug by the pharmacist. I signed it. I check it, everything is correct, whatever you order it, and then if is the matching everything right, I signed it, I give to the McKesson driver.
Do you think, would you characterize your attitude towards controlled substance security as you now take personal responsibility for it?
Yes, I took the personal, I take it very serious, and I wasn't serious, but at this time, I go, everything I count, everything I check, everything, and I don't allow any technician open the toe even, and not to put the sticker on the C2 to C5.
Let's talk about your probation term. It started around I think the effective date was February 4, 2021. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And one of the terms of your probation requires you to work at least 120 hours per month as a pharmacist. Is that correct?
Yes.
The original probation was for 4 years, set to finish around 2025 of February. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
But as was previously mentioned by Deputy Attorney General Jarvis, your current probation was told until, and now it appears to be not until around October of 2025 to complete. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us, describe why that is?
Okay. Well, when I get the probation, and that time I lost my job due to probation, and then I'm looking for a job, and I applied at least 40 places to find the job. There, I just mentioned about 10 of them over there where personally I went and visit and talk with the owner or the pharmacy director, and I requested them to hire me, and they don't want to hire me due to the problem is my probation. But some places I offer voluntary that please see my work. If you like my work, you don't need to pay 1 month. Even I give a free, I will work for you. And then if you give that opportunity, then you can see how good I am. My previous performance was outstanding, and I was a different organization. I was a PIC at least 6 big company, and then I was the assistant director and supervisor in the hospital, 350 bed hospital. So I tell them, I try to convince them, still they did not give me the job.
So just to highlight and recap, did you say that you tried from the time of your probation that you've tried to get a job at about 40 different type of employers?
Yes.
And of those 40, you personally physically went into about 10 of those facilities?
I do.
And is it your testimony that every single one of those times you were rejected because of your probation?
Yeah, they say the probation, and that's why I try to convince them. Anyway, I can get the job, but I need the job because I am unemployed and I need to do the 120 hours monthly. But if I don't do, then my probation would be extended more days.
So each of these times, approximately 40 times you try to get a job, you immediately told them about your probation?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And were these places pharmacies and hospitals, or a mixture of the two, or what was it?
They are the mixture of the hospital and the pharmacy. Yeah, both retail pharmacy and the hospital. I tried both.
So of the 10 that you physically went into but were rejected, was Total Care Pharmacy in Beaumont, California one of them?
Yes, one of them. Yeah.
Was a medicine shop in Lake Elsinore, California one of them?
Yes.
Great RX Pharmacy in Menifee, California?
Yes.
The Chino Care Pharmacy in Chino, California?
Yes.
The Medicine Pharmacy in Palm Springs, California?
Yes.
The Right Care Pharmacy in Murrieta, California?
Yes.
The Fireside Compounding Pharmacy in Palm Desert, California?
Yes.
And then in terms of hospitals, was one of them the Riverside San Bernardino County's Indian Health Center or something like that?
Yes.
And the San Gorgonio Memorial Hospital in Banning, California?
Yes.
And then lastly, the Total Kid Rehabilitation Hospital in Loma Linda, California?
Yes.
So, okay, I think we've established that you've tried. And are you still trying to find jobs or no?
Now finally I found the job in far away from my residence, and they told me they asked me what the problem. I say I'm on probation, and he told me I convinced him, and he finally hired me. He's to pharmacy, and I work in low pay job, and I said that's fine. I need an hour. I need a money, so I have to work for you. And then since then I'm working almost more than 2 years. And I'm driving from my residence to one of the pharmacies 60 miles one way, and the other pharmacy is 75 miles from my house one way, and still I go over there, still I'm working, and my evaluation is very good, excellent, and I did not find any complaint, anyone, no customer complaint, no pharmacist complaint, no technician complaint, and I have a complaint where nothing. So,
So are
as
those,
well as
so,
when I
Mr.
was
Hassan,
there,
so are those two pharmacies the La Botica pharmacy?
yeah, one
Is that,
pharmacy, La
is that
Botica
Coachella?
pharmacy in Coachella.
And the other pharmacy is Heritage Pharmacy is in Palm Springs?
Yes,
Do you work part-time at both pharmacies?
yes.
And is it the a single owner for both pharmacy or commonality of ownership for both pharmacies?
One pharmacy hold his owner, and other pharmacy, two people are the owner.
Okay, so there's partial commonality of ownership in both pharmacies?
Mhm.
So in the year 2021, you know, since February of 2021, you were not able to find work until about, is it October of 2021?
Yes,
Okay, all right. And in approximately in October 2021, that's when you got the job, the part-time jobs at the Heritage and the La Botica pharmacy, is that correct?
yes.
In the year 2022, how much did you earn from Heritage Pharmacy and La Botica Pharmacy?
Okay, yeah. But I earned together here 2022, I earned Heritage Pharmacy $26,445, and La Botica Pharmacy earned $2,480. And if
And
total it will be $28,925.
so I believe that's the petitioner packet exhibit page AGO-027. And in those, that represents the totality of your 2022 earnings, correct? Of $28,925.
Yes.
Did you work anywhere else besides those two pharmacies during that calendar year 2022?
No.
Did you earn any monies from any other sources during 2022?
No.
And how many hours would you say in the totality of the year 2022, I'd say on average, per week or per month, did you work cumulatively?
Yeah, average I work 150 to 160 in a month.
Per month?
Yes.
So even for a part-time job, the entirety of 2022, you earned just under $29,000. That seems like a small amount of money. How are you able to survive?
More important thing, I have a saving money is gone, and then I took the loan on. I have a debit in here at $89,642. I took the loan against my house.
So, so the document they're holding up, that's basically it's a bank statement saying that you took a home equity credit line and you now own over $89,000.
Yeah, that's at the in here. That's at the.
Yeah. So, all right. So for the past approximately 2 years now, you've been living off your earnings from the two pharmacies plus the gradually accumulating debt from your home equity. Is that correct?
Yes.
In 2023, is it that you earned about $24,000?
Yeah, 23, I earned 24,016 cents.
$24,016.
Yes.
So is it that it's out either you're getting extremely low wage or you're volunteering your time? What is it? Is it both?
But that's a both. Because one pharmacy I work 1 day in a week, he pay me the money. Other pharmacy I work, he does not pay me, but I need the hours, so I voluntarily work over there. And I work. That's the reason my total income is only 24,016 cents.
So you're essentially, when you say you need the hours, you mean you need the probation hours of 120 hours per month?
Yeah, probation 120 hours in a month, and I work volunteer. I work a little bit more hours, 10, 20 hours in a month or a month. The reason is that whatever is my payment is low of still I can pay this money my gas, but gas is so expensive, and 140-mile average I drive when I go to work. So each and every cent of money is so important for me. So I cannot resist not to work and get whatever I can get.
So in 2023, you earned about $24,000. 2022, you earned about $29,000. 2021, you only worked in 2021 about 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of a meager amount.
Yeah.
So as a point of reference, before your probation in 2020, what was your total earnings as a pharmacist in the year 2020 before your probation?
2020, I earned 144,445 and 34 cents.
Are you looking at a tax return or a W-2 or something like that?
Yes, all are W-2, whatever I give you.
Got it. Is that your hope and goal? Is after the probation is done that you'll be able to get back to that level?
Yes, my goal is that not only that I have to earn more money now because the reason is that I have a debit so much money, and then I have to work 1.5 job, 1.25 at least to maintain my family, and my family has only I am the earning in my family. My wife she does not work, not for the luxury. She doesn't work for health reason. So I am only the earning member in my family last 30-40 years, and then I have to maintain my house and maintain everything, go price up. So I have to work more hours to get more money. I'm not greedy, but I have to do it.
Did you say that you're not young? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm not greedy, or I'm not that young, but still I have no choice to maintain
How old are you, Mr. Hassan?
I am 75 years old.
75. When do you plan to retire?
Yeah, I should retire. I had a plan about 5-6 years ago. I'm going to retire, and then unfortunately, or whatever, I get the probation letter, not a probation letter. I get this acquisition letter 6803, which drive me to probation. So I am on probation. So I cannot think about retire. Now my saving is gone. I am a debit, a lot of money, and I'm in a really little bad shape. But I don't feel shame to tell you people, but I'm really in bad condition.
So
I did not give up my hope.
Of course. So let's briefly talk about, as was previously mentioned by Deputy Attorney General, your family ties. I believe your parents live in Bangladesh. Is that correct?
Yes, my family live in Bangladesh, and they are very old, and I cannot go and see them last 4 years. Normally, I go to the Bangladesh to see them every 2 years. And now they are asking me, even I today call in the morning, they ask me, when you come. I tell them I have some problem, but I will come as soon as I. Sorry about that.
Take
my problem will solve, and I will come as soon as possible.
How is their health?
Their health is one of my mother. She's in the hospital, and she has a problem more now than before because they are getting more age. They are more problem. That's I know. They don't want to tell everything to me because they want to see me. So anyway, I'm stuck in here. I can help it. I wish I could help.
Let's change topics. One final thing, just as a better of clarity. It was previously mentioned that of the support letters that you received, specifically 2 letters from individuals that were not licensed by the Board of Pharmacy. It was previously stated that they somehow did not, or they gave the impression to the individual who called them on the phone that they didn't know about the accusation and they didn't know much about your scenario. Do you remember this?
But when I give my accusation, the letter, commitment letter to the DOJ commitment letter, and then I give to them, everyone, and I tell them, please read it, everything, and after read, then you decide, you give your recommendation, and I already explained to them whatever they have in here. I explained to the to PIC where I work to pharmacy, and they know that I am in a probation, and they already mentioned the letter, as well as they mentioned that I am very helpful, the owner and the PIC say I'm very helpful for the pharmacy, and then they also mentioned I'm working as a pharmacist. And another pharmacist say, pharmacy PIC work, and he told, I don't believe this pharmacist can steal the medication when he works. And secondly, he said he's very cautious and he's slowly count everything and very cautious and very accurate.
So Mr. Hassan, the 2 individuals, I believe that which start on AGO, excuse me, AGO 065 and AGO 066 are Samantha Atkins and Pastor Ruben Kano. Do you recall those 2 individuals?
Yeah, I recall. I give them my acquisition paper to them, both of them, and the I don't know why Sumanta say. I know her long period of time, and she work as a driver in our pharmacy part time, and she is a self-employed herself. But well, we let her go because some problem.
Mr. Hassan?
Yeah.
So Ms. Atkins and and Patrick Kano, they are not licensed individuals, correct?
No, they are not. One is a pastor,
yeah,
and one is a regular.
And then you're saying that before, when you approach them, you gave them a copy of the final decision and order packet?
Yes. Yes.
And you explained to them what was.
Yes.
And you explained to those 2 individuals what was going on with your license and the Board of Pharmacy?
Yes.
Have you talked to them since then?
I tried to call the Samantha. She did not answer my telephone, and I called the Kano pastor, and I asked him how is going on, everything. Hey, some of the lawyer call to know how are you, and asking the question about personal. I get scared, so I say I don't want to tell them. I don't know. He tell, and you can tell, because I don't know them. Maybe it will hurt you or something. I don't want to hurt you. I know you so much, and you helping me so much in my chart. So that's the reason I just try to avoid them.
Okay. Okay. So with respect to one, Samantha Atkins, you were not able to get, you have not talked to her since.
I cannot get a chance to opportunity to talk with her because she does not pick up her telephone.
But Pastor Cano, he did confirm that somebody called him, but because they sounded like a scary attorney, they didn't want to tell him anything?
Yeah, he told me he's a pastor, he's a older guy, but he does not, he gets scared. And he say, oh my God, lawyer call, why you did not tell me, lawyer will call or something, or that's fake nowadays, so many things going on, and I don't want to hurt. I'm saying, no, you are fine. He was very excited about all these things. And I say, I'm sorry about that happened for you.
Would you like to have one final, would you like to tell, if there was one thing you wanted to tell the Board of Pharmacy today, what would that be?
But I tell them every second, every minute, every hour is important to my probation, because this probation on actually stop me doing anything I want, because I'm a hard-working person. All my life, I work 50 hours a week. Even I get my PTO, paid time off in the hospital when I was director. I don't go to the vacation, and I get the cash out the money, and then my sick leave, I cash out the money, and I did very good this way. And I have no record that I did anything wrong anytime. 38 years my career, and State Board of Pharmacy has no record that I did anything wrong. 38 years, and that's it. And then only this acquisition, and she mentioned that our honorable the Deputy Attorney General mentioned that the acquisition to two of them is in other pharmacy immediately after acquisition pharmacy. So that's the my records bad at least 40 years as a pharmacist in California. And my valuation is outstanding, and still I'm working 2 years and 4 months is outstanding valuation, no complaint, nothing. State Board of Pharmacy, nobody report anything wrong. So number one. And number two thing is that I'm driving so 140 miles to go over there, and there's so much gas. And then I work 10-hour shift, voluntary too. And this is very hard for me. And then if I have no probation, I can look at the job near my residence, and I can do better. And thirdly, I have to see my elderly parents, and they want to see me. It is very sad for me. So if the honorable judge or the district deputy district attorney plus the board president, board member, they consider me to terminate, early termination, my probation, it will help me a lot. I can find out a good job, decent job, and I can maintain my family, and I can see my elderly parent, and it's helped me a lot, and I will appreciate, and I'm looking forward. We are human beings. We need help sometimes. We made mistake, not intentionally made mistake. It's happened. I'm very careful. I took all the course, like law course. I took all the whatever agreement. I fulfill 100%, and I took the law courses that the Dr. Tony Park give the course. Elizabeth Park, as well as our popular executive officer, executive officer in the State Board of Pharmacy, any
Mr. Hassan?
Jane, and she also give the law courses. And she's a dedicated person. I know she is hardworking. And,
Mr. Hassan?
and I am good about that. Okay.
Yes.
Thank
you. Thank you for that.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. You're a very passionate man, and I wish I want to be you when I grow up, when I turn 75. So thank you for that. That's all that we have, Your Honor. The Board of Pharmacy, thank you for your time and attention. I leave it up to the prerogative of the board to ask any questions and follow up information if they'd like.
Can I ask one question? Can I ask you something or no?
Let's wait until the end.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Jarvis, do you have any questions for Mr. Hassan?
I do, Your Honor. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Mr. Hassan, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Great. So you mentioned that when you asked your friends and coworkers to write these letters of recommendation, you gave them a copy of the decision and order that the board issued. Did you also write the letters of recommendation and ask them to sign them?
But what they did, yes, they told me that what I write, I don't know. This is your requisition. We don't understand, and they say that you have to type this thing, and then you bring to me. I have to read it because that's they did it. Yeah.
Okay, so you typed it up and then you gave it to them, they read it, and then they signed it.
Signed it, yes.
Okay. Did your attorney provide you with the language for those letters?
No.
That was just you? Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think happened to all the promethazine with codeine and the alprazolam that went missing from the United Family Pharmacy?
Okay, we had this pharmacy. I was a pharmacy in charge. We opened the new pharmacy, and then I left that pharmacy. That time I don't know any record, any missing or not. And then when another pharmacist come, and this had happened with a Clay, who was a pharmacist in charge after me, he doesn't know how it happened. And then thirdly, another pharmacist come, and then they order a lot of promethazine and promethazine with codeine to the McKesson. McKesson called, we cannot supply. I heard it. I was not over there. We cannot supply promethazine and codeine to you. So many container order now. And then they say, then the investigation going on, who is ordering, who is doing that thing. Then finally, we know that what's going on.
Well, and we understand how the board discovered that all of these drugs were walking out of your pharmacy. What I want to know is, what did you think was happening? You were signing for all of these deliveries, 150 some.
But
hold on. Let me finish my question. 150 plus pints of promethazine that you signed for, have your signature on the delivery receipts that you obviously or apparently did not dispense to patients or didn't record dispensing. So what do you think happened to those drugs?
But I signed the, not the paper, I signed the, they have a recording machine that I signed it over there. So the invoice, sometime maybe I missed the invoice. They have no paper they give me to sign it.
Sure, but you signed for the delivery. You must have seen the delivery.
Yeah, but normally, I miss it. Then that's what happened probably. And how is missing? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
So you don't know, even though at the time you were signing for 150 plus pints of promethazine and thousands of pills of alprazolam that were not being dispensed, and you have no idea what happened to them.
Honestly, I don't.
Do you think that after those drugs walked out of your pharmacy that they could have hurt the public, patients?
But as a pharmacist, I always locked up the drug, the casual drug or casual 3 and 4. All the time I locked it up. I don't want to hurt the patient. I don't want to hurt the public health, anybody. And then I don't want to do anything. But unfortunately, this had happened, and is out of my knowledge. Yes.
Have you ever thought about the public, the people that you may have hurt by failing to keep track of these drugs?
Yes. When I am a pharmacist, I am cautious about that. I am concerned about the public, concerned my patient, concerned my everything. Yes, but you see, give a reference 38 years, I have no problem. And then now 2.5 years almost I'm working. I have no problem. So excellently that's what happened. So what I can say, I cannot make up this story, but I'm sorry about that happened, and I'm very careful, and I was very careful all the time, but this time real careful.
You talked about applying for 40 different jobs and getting interviews at 10 pharmacies. And when you were reading off all of those names, I noted that those all seem to be small independent pharmacies. Did you ever apply to any chain pharmacy that might be closer to your house, like a CVS, a Walgreens, or if you used to be a hospital pharmacist, a Kaiser? They've got offices everywhere.
But I just applied it, Kaiser Hospital, I applied the Walgreens, I applied the other pharmacy too, sending application. They go by sending application. You cannot go personally to see them, but nobody called me back. And so this pharmacy I mentioned, ma'am, this pharmacy, only the pharmacy, I go into it and I talk with them and I request them that the pharmacy I mentioned in here.
So your testimony is that you did apply to chain pharmacies like CVS,
Yes.
Walgreens, and you never received a call back.
No, I did not get any call back. I submit, I give my letter, I write down I'm on probation and my probation will be finished. That much I finish it. This will be expired to 2000 February 3rd, 2025. I also mentioned that when I applied.
All right. Do you recall, is that the other 30 pharmacies that you testified you applied to? Were those all chain pharmacies?
Almost all are chain pharmacy, hospital, and I even I send the application to the Orange County too.
I'm sorry, to what?
Orange County.
To the county?
Yeah.
He also applied to jobs in Orange County.
Okay. So when you're saying in Orange County, are you applying specifically for jobs with the county or just in that county?
In that county.
I see.
Like I send I saw some opening, the job in a CVS. I say, okay, let me try it. Even I further I drive it. And as well, I was all chain pharmacy, most of them, I was a PIC. Like a Walgreens, I was a PIC, Rite Aid, I was a PIC, Walmart, I was a PIC, and the Smith and Food Drug, I was a PIC. So all the pharmacy, I know these people, and I applied by forget the pharmacy job. Nobody responds.
I have no other questions at this time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do any of the committee members have questions for Mr. Hassan?
Hi, thank you. I'll just ask each of the committee members. Jesse Crawley, do you have any questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. So my question, I know you mentioned that you wanted to continue working and find better work that's closer to home and that has better pay. What is your hope for the type of job that you get should your probation be lifted? And what steps will you take to prevent something like this from happening at whatever job you do get?
Yeah, first of all, I follow all these rules and regulation, State Board of Pharmacy, federal law, state law, and I already taking care of some ethic courses, and I taking care of the law. So if I get the job, it never be happen. That's why I can assure you, because I'll be very cautious, and that's I can tell you.
Okay, specifically, what steps will you take as a pharmacist to prevent something like this from happening in the future?
Future, like when we order the medication to the wholesaler or whatever the medication, especially, and we check it before we send the C-sauce. We are using C-sauce. That's an electronic order. Before we order the DEA 222 form to order the Schedule 2 drug, but now we're using the C-sauce. So C-sauce has all the medication you listed, and then you double check before you send the order, and then I make a copy. So I keep the copy. The next day, if I'm working or I leave for the another pharmacy, that number, it will eliminate a lot of order problem. And when the medication come, sometime the pharmacy not open the door right away, but we open the door or the box delivery, and then we open the front of not a front of a driver when the driver is present. So the medication, whatever they come, and we can check against the inventory, and every inventory met, then we let the medication driver to go, and then the same, and we put the sticker by me or pharmacy. That's our policy and procedure now. And then we put the lock cabinet right away. So and then we have a security camera. So they are monitoring, and if any problem or anything arise. So this kind of if you take this kind of precaution, probably there will be less chance to be a diversion of the drug or something. And that's I can tell you that the step we can take.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any further questions. Good luck with your petition.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Next, we'll ask KK Jha. Did you have any questions for Mr. Hassan?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Hassan, this one of the desirable outcome is to you join back the practice with enhanced knowledge of pharmacist's corresponding responsibility. So can you tell me, through this experience of last 3-4 years, what is your new understanding of pharmacist's corresponding responsibility?
Okay, I know as a pharmacy, and I need to take care the public, my patient, and the community where I work. And so that's my goal. And I am right now more better than before when I took the ethic course, and I learned so many things in the ethic course. Ethic course is a what you call that. There is a lot of thing like a responsibility, the fairness, and all these things I learned from the integrity, wisdom. All these things I learned from ethic course. When I apply this, all I learned, and then maybe it will be better for me, better for the community, better for the professional, other professional people. And then I took the course in law, a lot of courses I took it, and that's a law. When I take all the law courses, so I review all myself, and then it will help not to make mistake, and then apply it properly. And thirdly, I took the course like a 248 or something courses, the continuation education within 2 years. But this is not a requirement. This I do it to increase my knowledge, increase my expertise, and then what will help the community, and then the professional, health professional people asking the person.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan. And then last question from me, not to repeat what DAG asked you, but what's your best guess with regards to 150 odd pints that were lost? What's your best guess? What happened?
Some way somebody order, and the Mr. Clay, another pharmacist, when I left the pharmacy, and he said that the technician has enter in the same code number and everything. Probably they ordered it or somebody ordered it, but I was not present over that time, what happened. But when my time, I did not notice anything. But it happened after I left that pharmacy. And how the order come, how the goes, I suggest the owner of that pharmacy, please go and check the video. We have a 24-hour video, but he did not see it, or they did not check it probably. Honestly, I cannot give a blame someone if I don't know. This is not fair. That's why I learned the ethic code. Do not do anything emotionally. Just blame other one, and whether you don't like someone. So I don't know. Somewhere it's happened. I don't know, honestly. I'm sure I don't know. I know I did not do it, and that's best I know. So I'm not to blame someone if I don't know, because I don't have access that pharmacy after I left.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hassan.
Thank you. I appreciate your question, but okay, thank you. I do appreciate your.
Thank you. Song O, did you have any questions?
I do, and sorry for my voice as well. I am under the weather, so just wanted to just ask one question to you, Mr. Hassan. I understand that you do not know, and I'm not here to try to relitigate the case. I'm just trying to understand where you are in terms of closure of what has happened and where you are now. And what I would like to ask is just straight to you directly. Yes, I understand you do not know what happened with those drugs that were lost, but you were the PICs. do you take full responsibility for the losses that occurred at that time?
Yes, I do. And then, when I was a PIC on that pharmacy, I was very, very careful and do anything. And that time, it was not discovered there's something going wrong. And then when the another pharmacist come, he does not know either. Then the third pharmacist come, that time, and he recognized that he's something wrong. So actually, I am responsible, I know, because I was a pharmacist in charge 38 years, different organization, and nothing happened before. So I know I'm responsible. As well, I know I'm human being too. Maybe I am not very cautious that time. Now I am very, very organized myself and very careful. And I know inside, outside, I want to know everything. So
Thank you, Mr. Hassan. So with that, would you, can you just share us what would you do differently and what kind of changes would you have made if you were ever given this opportunity to be a PIC or to be in the management of a pharmacy? What have you learned and what are your opportunities for growth in that area? What would you do differently?
first of all, I already mentioned that I'm taking the step ordering system, inventory system, and I do like we order by CSOS instead of D 222. So that's why but we can accurate order we can do, and the accurately we can do the order, and then we print out the prescription, the order form, and we verify when they bring the medication, and we don't allow the technician open the box, or no one in the pharmacy except pharmacist. Pharmacist must open the door and check the medication with the previous order. They are 100% right. And then you allow the driver to leave the pharmacy, no matter what. But that's way, and then you put the sticker right away by pharmacist, and after you put the sticker, is direct goes to the locker cabinet where it belongs to go, a casual 2 drug and casual 3, 4, 5, and then you put it over there, and then lock the key. After you lock the key, then only pharmacist can open. At the same token, we open the video camera, and if I have an opportunity to work in PIC, I will make a manual for a book when I fill the prescription, and I minus that amount of the cure thing or whatever I do, minus it. So end of the month, even they say 30 days, 90 days, I don't care. I do every month for my protection, for the safety of the patient, for the safety of the California state or whatever, and I will do it and accurate calculate, and in a manual book plus the electronic book, so there is no way it can be missing. And if it's missing, then we have to evaluate why right away, not for the 3 months or 2 months, right away within a month. That's I have a plan. When if I'm a PIC, believe me, I learned my lesson.
Okay. Thank you. And lastly, would you like to be PIC again if you were
Oh, sure. I don't know scared to be a PIC. I have all the ornament I have in my hand. I know my law. I know my ethic code. I know I go through all kind of problem, and I know how to resolve it. I am a self-made man, and I know how to work, and I'm going to be PIC again. I'm not scared, but I'll be very, very careful than before, and because I learned my citation 6803, I never forget it.
All right, thank you. I am good with my questions. Thank you, Chair Bucker.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Maria Serpa, do you have any questions?
Yes, on a kind of a different note, Mr. Hassan, can you explain to us the 2 citations that Deputy Attorney General mentioned that you received on or about, or maybe even after your probationary period? What was that?
This,
Citations?
okay, ma'am. This citation happened when I left the my AC 6803, that AC acquisition in the United Family Pharmacy. Then I went to job. They are supposed to buy our United Family Pharmacy. That's why I went to the other job, Desert RX Pharmacy. This citation had happened, Desert RX Pharmacy. They told that they are sending the medication out of state. They are typing out of state medication, prescription by the technician, and all the problem over there. That's the reason one citation happened. And second citation is a medication sent to the other state without license, other state permission to send the medication. But I don't recall, I don't remember that I send any out of state medication from my pharmacy to other place out of state. That's why when I talk, when I get the citation and I talk with the my lawyer and I explain that I have no recall, he asked me, and he asking repeatedly State Board of Pharmacy give the document or something, he signed it or something, but they did not respond anything. They did not give us anything. Then we can see it, what exactly happened. So how much my attorney did it, I don't know, but we should not send any kind of medication out of state without the license. I know that law.
May I jump in to clarify that question?
Yes.
To whomever asked that question. So
Go
just,
ahead.
just by point of clarification procedurally, the citation that's being referred to just now by Mr. Hassan is CI 2023-101-286 that was issued on August of 2023, where by the time that Mr. Hassan received the citation, he was no longer employed at the Desert RX Pharmacy. In fact, the pharmacy has shut down and closed business. And so he had no idea what specific prescriptions were being referred to in that citation. So my office filed the Public Records Act, but was denied based upon, the denial was based upon complaints to or investigation conducted by the board are exempt from disclosure. So that was denied. We went through an informal office conference. We were not able to glean any intel from that. And then we ended up filing a formal appeal in hopes that the discovery process would yield the specific prescriptions that serves as a foundation for the citation. But because of this opportunity for the petition, we basically withdrew our formal appeal and then just went ahead and here we are today. So The bottom line is he does not remember those prescriptions being shipped out of state, nor does he recall any prescription that he individually authorized to ship out of state. And to this day, we still don't know exactly which prescriptions were referred to when those 84 prescriptions, I believe, were mentioned in the citation. Hope that helps.
Thank you. No more questions.
Hi, thank you. So this is Renee Barker. I did have a question. In the future, well, let me just back up. You've described a lot that during the probation time, you've learned extensively about the regulations regarding controlled substances, ordering, receiving. You've talked about how you would implement that operationally. In the future, I mean, pharmacy has many regulations that are always changing, but wondering what is your plan to stay current with all regulations that govern pharmacy? And also, as you have indicated, you would like to be PIC. So those requirements, how would you stay current to ensure that you would be meeting all those regulations?
Yeah, number one, I will check the board letter that they have a mention on what kind of law and rule regulation change. I can get the idea from there. And secondly, I read the DOJ newsletter, and I can get the information from them. And then I take the course. If I am a PIC or not a PIC, it doesn't make too much difference, but the responsibility almost the same, a little bit. So I have to update it, my law, and I taking the law CE, continuing education, to update my law. And secondly, and then I try to apply it whenever I'm a pharmacist. So that's why I don't miss anything. And every time I update my continuing education, which increase my knowledge, what I did, I told you, mentioned it, 200 something courses I do voluntary. So that's I will do the continue do it. And then it not mean that if you have a plan and if you have a determination and if you have a good faith, and then you can do anything you want. So constantly you have to plug in all these things, and then you will be successful. Success does not come easily. I was a teacher in California. So I know that teaching is not that easy, but I was a successful teacher. So now I have to teach myself to the law. So I'll be better pharmacy, better PIC, and that's I can tell you. I can assure you, nothing happened again, man. I already learned my lesson. Never be repeated again.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't, there's no further questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else in terms of questions? All right. Do we want to make closing arguments?
Can I tell you something before I closing? If you give
we're gonna let your attorney make a closing argument, and Ms. Jarvis, go ahead, please.
Your Honor, I don't have a formal closing argument at this point. The Attorney General's office has no recommendation and will leave the matter up to the judgment of the board. Thank you.
Mr. Park?
I'll keep it brief, Your Honor. Your Honor and the board members, thank you for your time and attention today. Mr. Hassan is a veteran pharmacist. He's in the twilight of his, or the dawn of his, which is twilight, which is dawn. He's at the closeout of his career at the age of 75, and he is struggling severely, notwithstanding the smiles that you've seen throughout this testimony thus far. He is struggling undoubtedly, and he needs to be able to support he and his wife who cannot work. He needs to be able to see his sick parents in Bangladesh, and he has proven himself to be fully compliant with all the probation terms thus far. And so, you know, my client will never say this, but I will say this on behalf of my client, that at this point, it feels an awful lot like punishment more than appropriate disciplinary action. I believe that my client, Mr. Hassan, has learned this lesson, and despite his broken English, and albeit he is hard to understand sometimes, he has a good heart and he really wants to do right by the Board of Pharmacy and California. And so we would respectfully and urgently request the Board of Pharmacy to grant this petition for early termination to allow Mr. Hassan to pay back his debt, go visit his sick parents in Bangladesh, and live out the remaining years of his career as a pharmacist in California.
All right, thank you. That'll conclude the matter, and it will be submitted for the board's consideration. Do any of the committee members want to take a little break before we go to the next petition?
Yes, this is Renee Barker. I was going to request a 15-minute break.
Let's take 15 minutes. So back at, what is that? Let's go to 12 or 10:55.
Yes, thank you. Hello. Well, it's 10:55. Let's see if everyone's back on camera. I see Song. Maybe we'll just give another few seconds here. Let's see, Maria, Jesse. KK, are you back?
I'm here but eating, so I'll be on camera in a minute.
Okay, great. Thank you for letting us know. So, would you like us to take roll call at this time?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead. Jessica Crowley, KK Jha,
Licensee member present.
Song O,
Member present.
Maria Serpa,
Licensee member present.
and this is Renee Barker, licensee member present.
All right, let's go back on the record. This is the petition concerning Yoon Ju Gak and Gak's Pharmacy LLC, doing business as Balboa Pharmacy. It's items 3, B, and C on the agenda, combined for hearing. Do we have the petitioner present?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, very good.
Oh, there.
So, sorry.
Oh no, we just like to make sure the video's on, and the petitioner just turned on the video, so never mind me. Sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. So this is a matter before the Pharmacy Board as case number 6514, the Office of Administrative Hearings, case number 2024030291. I'm Alan Alvord, the Administrative Law Judge assigned to hear this case. And can I have the appearances, please? Ms. Jarvis for the Attorney General.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I am Deputy Attorney General Christina Jarvis, and I am appearing here on behalf of the Attorney General for the people of the state of California. My role is not adversarial, but it is intended to protect the public interest.
All right, and Ms. Gak, if you could state your name for us.
My name is Unju Gak.
All right, good morning again.
Morning.
Ms. Jarvis, would you like to begin?
Thank you, Your Honor. This matter arose via an accusation that was filed on November 14th, 2019. This was against petitioner's pharmacy license, where petitioner was the sole owner and the pharmacist in charge, or PIC, and against petitioner's pharmacist license personally. Petitioner entered into stipulated settlements for herself and her pharmacy, which became effective on May 12, 2021. This placed both licenses on probation for a 5-year probation term. Both licenses are now eligible to petition for this early termination of probation. The first cause for discipline was supplying prohibited drugs, dangerous drugs, without prescriptions. The facts are that petitioner was selling dangerous drugs ketoprofen, florbiprofen, and flubendazole, all of which are dangerous drugs and prohibited drugs in that they are not authorized by the Food and Drug Administration to be sold in the United States. Petitioner was selling these drugs as over-the-counter medications and stated that she believed that they were over-the-counter because they were sold over-the-counter in Korea. Additionally, the manufacturer from whom petitioner purchased these medications was not licensed to sell drugs in the United States by the FDA, the board, or the State Department of Public Health, and was suspended from doing business in California at all by the Franchise Tax Board. The second cause for discipline was specifically for purchasing, trading, selling, etc., dangerous drugs with a person or entity not licensed with the board for those purchases from that unlicensed manufacturer. The third cause for discipline was purchasing, selling, transferring, etc., dangerous drugs that they knew were misbranded for trafficking in those Korean drugs already discussed. The fourth cause for discipline was holding for sale a misbranded drug in that petitioner used an automated pouch packaging device that was not properly labeled. It failed to have lot numbers and expiration dates. The fifth cause for discipline was that petitioners were providing prescription drug take-back services without complying with board or DEA regulations for doing so. The sixth cause for discipline was failing to fulfill corresponding responsibility duties, in that petitioner dispensed excessive controlled substance prescriptions with major irregularities and red flags. This included a large percentage of controlled substance prescriptions from a prescriber who was a general practitioner and not a pain management specialist, high starting doses of alprazolam and oxycodone, uniformity of diagnoses and uniformity of treatment among different patients, and dispensing prescriptions for interacting controlled substances from 2 different prescribers to the same patient. The seventh cause for discipline was unprofessional conduct and gross negligence for all of the above. During probation, petitioner has been 100% compliant and paid $17,500 in cost recovery, which was the entire amount ordered. With the petition, petitioner provided the following documents: proof of attendance of 46 hours of continuing education, completion of the board's ethics course, a donation thank you letter for a $10,000 donation to an addiction recovery program. Petitioner also provided 4 letters of recommendation, all of which were able to be verified. These letters of recommendation include a letter from petitioner's consultant pharmacist, who states that petitioner has demonstrated her knowledge, compliance with, and respect for the laws, and she is even ready for upcoming changes in the law before they take effect, and has been doing so since she was placed on probation. The consultant sees no reason to deny this petition. Since petitioner was no longer allowed to be PIC during the term of probation, she has another PIC, and the current PIC also recommends the early termination of probation. She states that petitioner has completely cleaned up the pharmacy, that she has found no questionable drug products in inventory, and that petitioner clearly and strictly follows all of the laws governing the practice of pharmacy. In addition, this PIC states that petitioner always has a good, positive attitude despite the challenges of her practice. A doctor of pharmacy at the USC School of Pharmacy states that she knows petitioner through the Korean American Pharmacist Association and states the petitioner has gained the respect of her colleagues through her tireless efforts to stay abreast of pharmacy law and keep all of her organization up to date as well. And finally, a patient writes that petitioner is their pharmacy and pharmacist, and that they are both an exceptional asset to the community. Petitioner is bilingual in Korean and English, and both she and the pharmacy are punctual, caring, clearly explains prescriptions the patient receives, and is always available for questions or discussion. At this time, I would like to identify and move as Exhibit 1, the petition packet consisting of all the documents just identified, along with the notice of hearing, the agreement for electronic recording, and a memorandum to the board from board staff outlining the petition activities, the probation activities, and then the underlying decision and order. And I would ask that that be admitted for all purposes.
Marked as Exhibit 1, is there any objection to Exhibit 1 being admitted into evidence? Hearing no objection, Exhibit 1 is admitted into evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I will cede the floor to petitioner.
Okay, Ms. Gack, this is your chance to give us your testimony. I'm going to place you under oath. Before you do, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this legal proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You can go ahead with your testimony, and then after you finish, we'll give Ms. Jarvis a chance to ask you questions, and also any of the committee members may ask you questions, and I may have some as well. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, please.
Honorable Judge and the members of the board, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to present this petition. I understand that these petitions are not granted lightly and acknowledge the board's mandates to prioritize the protection of the public over any and all other concerns that may be presented to the board. With that said, I'm not here with any sense of entitlement, but with a humble request for reprieve in light of the continuous and strong mitigation and rehabilitation efforts and work by Balboa Pharmacy and Eun-gak, the owner myself, over the period of last 3 years. I would like to bring forth the following reasons for granting the petitions. Although Balboa Pharmacy and I have been fully compliant with the terms of the probation, I understand that in and of itself is not a sufficient reason to grant this petition. The principal reason that I present for granting this petition is our continuous exemplary effort to mitigate and remediate any harm that may have been caused by our past misconduct. This is not a short-term effort just prior to filing the petition. We have been continuously engaged in the safe pharmacy practices more than 6 years from the time that the misconduct was identified or occurred. Balboa Pharmacy was placed on probation because of this violation. 1, selling drugs without prescription. I bought OTC products from Korea which contained the drug by prescription only in US. I stopped immediately after the board inspection on February 7, 2018. 2, purchasing drugs from an unlicensed wholesaler. I bought OTC products from Korea from an unlicensed wholesaler. I stopped immediately after the board inspection on February 7, 2018. 3, holding misbranded drugs. I had pre-filled bottles with aspirin without proper labeling on the bottles. I stopped immediately after the board inspection on February 7, 2018. 4, prescription take-back services. I accepted the expired medication from the patient for disposal without registering with the DEA. I stopped immediately after the board inspection on February 7, 2018. 5, corresponding responsibility. I had filled a prescription that were not for legitimate medical purposes. Balboa Pharmacy is filling the prescription for controlled medications by following procedures. 1, every new prescription is checked with the cures first before it is filled. Pharmacists make initial patient assessment. We check for patient relationship with the pharmacy. We also check for any prior decision and/or action in regards to controlled substance prescriptions. All irregularities and red flags are questioned and clarified. For example, irregularities on the face of the prescription itself, cash payment, patient is willing to pay regardless of the amount, prescription written for potentially duplicate drugs, the same combination of drugs prescribed for multiple patients, initial prescription written for stronger opiates, prescription written outside of the prescriber's medical specialty. And then the legitimacy of prescription is verified by reasonable inquiry. We obtain patient's diagnosis and justification for high doses, and therapeutic duplication is verified. We also ask patients for insurances if they want to pay cash, and we justify if they have no insurance or if they have an insurance, but the prescribed medication is not covered by the plan. And we also check DA and NPI websites for doctors' scope of practices. Then pharmacists document all findings in writing, either directly on or attached to the original prescription, as well as in the pharmacy system. And then we decide. Acceptance or rejection of prescription is solely based upon satisfactory resolution of all irregularities and red flags performed by each pharmacist. Ever since Balboa Pharmacy is placed under probation, we suffered a significant hardship as a result of a disciplinary penalty. Balboa Pharmacy lost 2 major PBM contracts. Our prescription volume has cut down by more than 50%. I understand that I have nobody else to blame for it but myself. But I respectfully submit that at this point of time, after 3 years of our probation in full compliance with significant effort to demonstrate my rehabilitation, there is no additional margin of safety for the public provided by continuing our probation at this point of time. And I believe that the documentary evidence and the safe pharmacy practice performed by Balboa Pharmacy and I clearly established that at this point of time, Balboa Pharmacy and I do not pose any threat to the public. The termination of our probation at this time would be the best interest of the public. Rafi Svejian is a consulting pharmacist at Balboa Pharmacy, overseeing our pharmacy practice. For your information, he used to visit Balboa Pharmacy every month in the beginning of the probation, but the board granted monthly to quarterly visits after 1 year of probation. This proves that Balboa Pharmacy is abiding by the regulations and procedures of the state and federal pharmacy laws. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jarvis, any questions?
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Ms. Gack, I understand that you have presented a very thorough petition packet here, but I have a few questions about kind of how you let this happen to begin with. And without relitigating the underlying facts, I just want to know how you sort of got into importing these over-the-counter drugs from Korea and then selling them over-the-counter yourself. And I really want to focus on the fact that, you went to pharmacy school, you're a pharmacist, you know what these drugs are. As you could probably tell when I tried to pronounce them, I do not, but you do. So how could you let that happen when you have all this training and experience already before you ever opened your pharmacy?
So basically, I was too naive. I am supposed to be a professional, pharmacy professional, and of being a pharmacist, I should know better. But since I opened my own pharmacy, my patients asking for these products because they were sold in the regular Korean markets and stores. So I got contacts from one of my colleagues, and then he said, "Oh, it was all sold in the Korean stores, and then we were able to sell it as over the counter because it's sold in Korea as over the counter." So I was just selling them. I was not thinking that I should have better judgment that it should be sold without the prescription in the United States, although it's sold as over the counter in Korea. So I wasn't thinking, and then I was just trying to please my patients, my older patients who asked for the patches and all that.
Now, you also mentioned that you were taking back prescription drugs in regards to the drug take back issue, that you were taking back prescription drugs from your patients. But the drugs that were found in your pharmacy were labeled with, they had been dispensed from numerous different pharmacies. So you were just taking back any drugs that any patient brought you?
No, I had a patient who was going to different pharmacies before, and she told me that she has all these expired drugs from other pharmacy that she used to go, and then she wanted to properly dispose of it. And then I told her to just put it in the trash bag, and then she didn't want to because she wants to properly dispose of the medication. And then my expired medication pickup was scheduled, so I just wanted to help her with the disposing of the medication, but I wasn't thinking that I shouldn't be taking any medication from the patient. I just wanted to help her with the disposal of the medication. That's why all the medication was labeled with the different pharmacies, because she was going to different pharmacies and had collected all these expired medications with her.
So did you not know at that time that you were required to be registered in order to do the drug takebacks?
Yes, I didn't know.
What concerns me about both of these issues, and even though they don't seem related, is that in both cases you're saying that you didn't know. And what concerns me is, what are you not going to know next, right? So how are you ensuring that you're staying up to date with pharmacy laws? Because those are two pretty basic laws that you should have been aware of.
So right now I'm getting the emails from the Board of Pharmacy through the email, and then I check the scripts every time they send the email. And I go to the website if I have any questions, and I go to the Board of Pharmacy website for any updates of the laws and procedures. And I go to the Korean Pharmacy Association to share the knowledge and the updates of the laws, and they provide like a quarterly or every 3 to 6 months updates on the laws. I attend those meetings, and I try to be updated with all the new updates and all the laws. And my consulting pharmacist also helping me with that too.
But if you're released from probation, then you won't have a consultant pharmacist anymore, right?
Yeah, I don't have to have it, but I'm going to an association meeting all the time, at least once a month. And then they're providing all these CEs related to the laws. So I'm attending all those meetings, and I get emails from the Board of Pharmacy, and I read them. And then I try to be updated with the laws every time they send me the email and be familiar with it.
In your petition packet, and particularly in your personal statement, you mentioned that one of the reasons you want to get off probation is that you hope that it'll improve your business, essentially. Is that right?
Yes.
How do you anticipate getting off probation would improve your business?
Basically, after probation, I can reapply to the PBM, which is the Pharmacy Benefit Management. I lost 2 major PBM insurances after the probation. So they said I can reapply with them after the probation is completed. So hopefully I can get those insurance back. Then I can get more patients to our pharmacy and then increase the business volume.
Which 2 PBMs dropped you?
Express Script and Med Impact.
I'm sorry, Med Impact?
Med Impact.
Thank you. In one of your letters of recommendation that you provided, and this is one of the civilian letters, so to speak, from Jose Gutierrez, he mentions being a patient of yours for a long time, and that one of the sort of best things about your pharmacy is that you serve the community in the capacity of being a bilingual pharmacy. Now, I also saw in one of the other letters that you were bilingual in both Korean and English. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have any other languages that you support with your pharmacy?
Not as a spoken language, but I have a software that I can translate into Spanish, Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese.
And then can you tell me a little bit about your patient population there where you're located? You know, what kind of patient population do you generally serve?
I generally serve most Korean seniors.
And seniors?
Yes.
And why is that? Is that tied to your location in some way?
Basically, my pharmacy is located in the corner of the Granada Hills, where two major senior living apartments located. So it's like across the street, so not even 5 minutes walking distance.
Okay. Thank you. At this time, I have no further questions.
All right, thank you. Madam Chair, would you like to poll the committee members about any questions they may have?
Yes, I will at this time. Jesse Crowley, did you have any questions?
Thank you. Yes, I have a. So what?
Jesse, your connection seems to be breaking up.
Sorry, can you hear me better now?
Yes, thank you.
So what I'm hearing from your petition is that a lot of the decisions you made were to help your patients as much as possible. So my main question is how you're going to strike the balance between helping your patients and ensuring compliance moving forward. You have extensive continuing education and courses really focused on that sort of thing, but sometimes it is difficult for us as pharmacists to strike that balance, particularly when you've lost, it sounds like 50% of your patients. So I'm wondering if you can kind of walk us through how you'll do that moving forward.
So it's gonna be hard when my patient insists on something that I shouldn't be doing, but I learned that I should be a responsible professional, not just helping patient just because they wanted to. So it's gonna be hard, but I can explain to them why I can help the patient in their way, and I can try to navigate them with the right way where I can help them in a different way, not with the right decision and then following the laws and procedure instead of failing the procedures.
Thank you. And then my last question for you is in regards to your prescription volume. So I know that you mentioned your volume decreased by more than 50%, and also that you lost 2 PBM contracts. So my question is kind of twofold. Number one, what do you think contributed to that loss of patients? Do you think it was primarily the PBM contracts? Is it because you stopped carrying the products that patients were used to getting? And then kind of follow up to that, how do you plan on building your business moving forward and doing so in a manner that's consistent with the law?
So I lost the patient not because I wasn't selling the OTC product that was from Korea, but because I lost the insurances, because they were coming for the prescription and then I couldn't take their insurances and I have to turn away the patients. So that's why I lost a lot of volumes in the pharmacy. And what was your second question?
The second part was just asking how you plan moving forward to build the business back up and to do so in a manner consistent with the law.
So basically, after the probation is completed, I can reapply to those 2 PBMs, and then hopefully I get the insurance, the contracts back, and then take the patients from that PBM. and then I can start building my business with more prescription coming into from those 2 PBMs.
Perfect. I don't have any other questions. Good luck with your petition.
Thank you.
KK Jha, did you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Gak, what percentage of your revenue came from those OTC products, roughly, before the disciplinary action? Means what percent? How much was the percentage of the business was those OTC products?
Not much, maybe less than 5%, or not even a 5%, or maybe 1 or 2%.
So that
But
was just an
majority of,
addition.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead. No, please complete.
The majority of my revenue was coming from prescription, not from the OTC selling. So I just had those OTC product because of the patient. Some of the patient was asking, and then I was wanted to please them. That was all.
So that was just an additional special order items or additional services that you provided.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No more questions, Ms. Barker.
Hi, thank you. Song O, did you have any questions?
I don't have any questions at this point. Good luck with your petition.
Thank you. Maria Serpa, do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then me last. I also do not have any questions at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I don't have any questions either. So any closing statements, Ms. Jarvis?
No formal closing statement, Your Honor. I have no recommendation for the board from the Attorney General's office. I would just advise the board to use their best judgment. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Gak, anything you want to say in closing?
Yes, I have a closing statement I prepared.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. When the opportunity to open my own pharmacy rose, I thought I was ready for it. I grabbed the chance without hesitation based upon my 10-year experience with the big chain pharmacy stores. It took 5 long years to realize I was wrong when I got the accusation from the board. Because I work under the corporate environment, I didn't really need to think. I just needed to follow the company's guidelines. I just needed to be a paid staff for the stores. However, as a community pharmacy owner, the level of my responsibility was totally different. I should have been more critical about my decisions. I was simply a store owner, not a professional pharmacist. But I assure you that it wasn't because I was unethical, but because I was just naive. I wanted to please my customers and sell the products because they were sold in the Korean markets. I was not a responsible professional. Due to the probation, Balboa Pharmacy has lost 2 major PBM contracts, which caused the greatest impact on losing patients on top of the COVID-19 pandemic. Honestly, I'm struggling to survive, but I am becoming more determined to regain the trust and serve my patients. I regret that my poor decisions caused this hardship. At the same time, I regret that my poor judgments caused inconvenience for those people who trusted and relied on my services. I feel bad that I must turn away those people who need my services because I can take their insurances. Most of these patients are Korean-speaking seniors living in the senior apartments across the street. They still come to us for help on their letters, bills, and everyday little errands, but I can fill their prescriptions. Because these senior patients don't drive, they must walk a long distance, call taxis, or ask someone to pick up their medications from other pharmacies. They are asking me when they can come back to Balboa Pharmacy, but I can give them a definite answer, and I feel guilty. I appreciate the board for giving me a chance to redeem myself and prove that I can be a responsible professional. I've learned what it takes to be a responsible community pharmacist. I have corrected all my mistakes, and I am vigilant about what's going on around my surroundings. I'm diligently looking into the new changes in the pharmacy laws by checking the board's website. I've been actively involved in the Korean American Pharmacists Association, where I can exchange and learn knowledge and information. And I attend all the seminars and meetings they provide. I'm regularly visiting a local adult daycare center to provide vaccinations, and I am willing to expand my service to other facilities. My practice is no longer a threat to the public. I want to serve seniors and others in my neighborhood and become an essential part of my community. The termination of our probation at this time would be the best interest of the public. Thank you.
All right, thank you. If there's nothing else, the matter will be submitted for the board's consideration. Off the record? Do any of the members need a break before we move on to the next item?
I think we'll continue at this time.
Very good.
Well, I should ask, anybody need a break? Couple people under the weather. We're all good to go? Okay, yeah, let's proceed. Thank you.
Okay, let's go forward with the next item on the agenda is Yvette Luthley. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Please unmute yourself and let us know you're here.
Hello, yes, my name is Yvette Luthley.
All right, thank you. Are you able to turn on your camera?
Just one moment, please.
Okay.
Video. There.
Oh, hello, sorry about that.
There you are. Okay, let's go on the record. This is the matter of the petition of Yvette Luthley. This is a matter before the Board of Pharmacy, case number 6875, the Office of Administrative Hearings, case number 2024030295. I'm Alan Alvord, the Administrative Law Judge assigned to hear this case. And may I have the appearances, please, starting with the Deputy Attorney General.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I am Deputy Attorney General Christina Jarvis, and I'm appearing on behalf of the Attorney General for the people of the state of California. My role here is not adversarial, but it is intended to protect the public interest.
All right, and Ms. Luthley, can I have you state your name, please?
Sir, my name is Yvette Luthley.
Thank you. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit because you're coming in very quietly. It may help if you get, I don't know where your device is that you're talking to, but if you get closer to the microphone, that sometimes helps. Wherever the microphone is located. A little bit.
This is the moderator. Can you try speaking now, Yvette?
Are you able to hear me now?
That's better. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ron. You're welcome.
All right, Ms. Jarvis, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. This matter arose via an accusation filed on April 6, 2020, against petitioner's pharmacy technician license for committing and then being convicted of driving while under the influence of alcohol with a blood alcohol content of 0.23%. Petitioner had crashed her vehicle into a parked vehicle at the time of her arrest. Petitioner entered into a stipulated settlement for probation with the board. That became effective on November 25th, 2020. More than 2 years have passed, and therefore petitioner is eligible for this petition for early termination of probation. Petitioner has been nearly compliant with probation. There is one outstanding bill for probation monitoring costs in the amount of $242, but I don't believe it's quite at the point that we would call it late. In addition, however, Petitioner has had several positive biological fluid tests during her term of probation, and at one point she was suspended from practice for approximately 1 month due to these positive tests. Petitioner first tested positive for alcohol at the end of December of 2020, just about 1 month after her probation was effectuated. She stated at the time that it could have been from NyQuil or using hand sanitizer or drinking a non-alcoholic beer. In February of 2021, so just 2 months later, petitioner tested positive for marijuana. At that time, petitioner stated that she had unknowingly consumed candy that contained marijuana that had been gifted to her mother, who then gave it to her. And she stated that she did not know at the time, and neither did her mother, that this candy contained marijuana. Then in May of 2022, petitioner tested positive for hydrocodone. At that time, she stated that she must have accidentally taken one of her husband's Norcos, which he kept in the same bottle as his ibuprofen. Now, in all other respects, petitioner has been compliant, and that includes paying the ordered $1,903.75 in reimbursement of the investigation and prosecution costs. With her petition, petitioner provided the following documents: 52.5 hours of continuing education, confirmation that her criminal case is closed and her informal probation is terminated, proof of completion of 80 hours of community service, some work information, including her schedule, confirmation that she is engaged in addiction treatment at Kaiser Permanente, confirmation of attendance at AA meetings. In addition, petitioner provided a personal statement in which she states that she acknowledges and regrets the occurrence of this life-changing event. Prior to the DUI, she was not aware of the true cost of her actions and the negative effects they could have. She does not believe that her use of alcohol ever affected her work. And prior to the DUI, she also did not think it was a problem outside of work. At the time of the DUI, she had a lot of personal issues going on, including 2 close family members having major surgeries, and her daughter, who is blind and has diabetes, was also pregnant. Now, however, petitioner states that she is happier and healthier, her life is more productive, and her family is also happier. Petitioner also provided 13 letters of recommendation, all of which were verified. These letters include several from coworkers and pharmacists that she works with, who attest to her high professional standards. In addition, several friends wrote letters attesting to her good character, her kind and generous heart, and that she is responsible and diligent. However, there are a couple letters that I find most interesting. First, from her daughter, who is the one who is visually impaired and who petitioner referenced in her own statement. This daughter also works at an intensive outpatient drug rehabilitation center. She states that petitioner did not tell her about her DUI until approximately a year after it occurred, even though she had told other family members and just swore them to secrecy. Then, when petitioner did approach her daughter, petitioner was trying to determine ways to manipulate the system so as to not have to take responsibility for her actions. Reading between the lines a bit, it does not appear that petitioner's daughter was fooled by petitioner's attitude in this manner at all. However, petitioner's daughter then goes on to say that once she established healthy boundaries with petitioner, that is when she saw petitioner start to flourish and evolve into an individual with integrity, honesty, reliability, and respect. And she also states that petitioner's actions now align with her words in ways that they have not done in the past. 2 other letter writers also mention how ashamed petitioner was after her DUI and that she really didn't want to talk about it. But they also state that now, approximately 3 years into her probation, petitioner is much more open, less stressed, and tells people about her addiction and recovery in a way that shows how far she has come. I also recommend that the board review the memo from board staff where the letters were verified. Now, board staff calls each letter writer and asks them 4 questions: if they authored the letter, if they have knowledge of the penalty imposed by the board, if they have personal knowledge of petitioner's actions since the penalty was imposed, and then if they have anything else to add. Anybody who's read these memos regularly knows that frequently these letter writers simply say no. They said it all in their letter. They really don't want to talk to board staff. Here, in this case, almost every single letter writer went on and on about petitioner once asked these questions, sometimes even adding things that you would have expected to be in the letter, like the very first one on the list, who says that she met petitioner when she, the letter writer, had a life-threatening blood clot, and petitioner then saved her life. She doesn't expound on that, but I did find it interesting. At this time, I would like to identify and move as Exhibit 1, the petition packet consisting of all the documents I just described, but also including the notice of hearing, the agreement for electronic recording, the memorandum to the board from board staff, and the underlying decision and order. And I would like these documents to be admitted for all purposes.
Is there any objection to Exhibit 1 being admitted into evidence? Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I will turn the floor over to petitioner.
All right, Ms. Luthley, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this legal proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You can go ahead and give your testimony, and then the board members may have some questions. Ms. Jarvis may have some questions, and then I may also ask you some questions. All right, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I want to thank you all, Board of Pharmacy, Your Honor, and District Attorney for the opportunity to present myself today. I just want to say the reason for early termination would just relieve me of emotional and physical and the heavy financial burden I've experienced in the last 4 years. But also I want to say that through this experience, through the probation, it has helped me to transform myself into a better person. Initially, this was a worst thing to have happened to me, as I've had my technician license for over 30 years now, and I was truly remorseful when this all happened, and ashamed. However, in hindsight, I can say that it's been a blessing in disguise. This circumstance has taught me a valuable lesson that has allowed me to find more fulfillment in life through enriching connections with my family, myself, my husband, my friends, and my community. I'm in a better place now where my head is clearer, as well as my physical well-being. I attend Pilates, and it's really helped with my overall physical health. And just my awareness as far as my potentials and passions within life have a lot more value over the last 4 years. And where I'm at now, I feel that I am able to make sound decisions and overall feel more safe and at peace with myself. And I'm just thankful for my family. They've been my rock. And you know, I just feel like I'm a better person, and being sober is much more important to me now than it ever has been. I never want to go back to the place I was before. I attend AA, which is very helpful. I enjoy going to the meetings. I practice the 12 steps of the AA program, and I also attend addiction therapy 2 times a month, which also allows me to talk, and has been very helpful in my life.
Ms. Jarvis, do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. So, Ms. Luthley, if this has been such a positive force in your life, what's the purpose of getting off probation early?
Well, it's been really hard financially for me. it just would be, I mean, I lost my dad in 2021. I have an elderly mother, and I would like to take her back to England for, one last time. It just would be a relief. I mean, I know I've messed up a few times. They have been accidents. I just feel I've done my role. I've followed the probation terms. Just would be a big relief to me. And I do hold my technician license at high standards. And my job is really important to me and always has been. It's just, having this early termination would just be really helpful overall in my life.
Can you explain to me a little bit about your job? It says that you're a buyer. Does that mean that you are not actually handling medications?
I do the purchasing. I'm actually the purchaser for the pharmacy, inpatient pharmacy. So I do all the purchasing, and I also, reconcile and handle the overall everything in the department pretty much. Lots of emails. It's mainly a desk job, and also I receive the totes. I break them down on pharmacist supervision. I also help put them away and reorganize, and I attend meetings. I clean up. I file. I do a lot of overall responsibilities in the pharmacy.
So let me focus a little bit on that, breaking down the totes under the pharmacist supervision and putting away the drugs. So is that the only time that you would actually be handling medications?
Yeah.
In other words, you don't put them in bottles to be dispensed.
No,
because it's
I
an
don't.
inpatient pharmacy.
Yes, I don't do any of that. I just acknowledge that I received the medications, and then somebody else. I also have to scan them, and because we have a computer system that has to make sure they're acknowledged in our system. And I just have to write lot numbers and all that kind of stuff. And then there's somebody else that works with me, another technician that kind of supports, and they actually put the medication away.
And the reason I ask you this is that I'm pretty confused by your statement that you think that you tested positive in 2022 because you took Norcos from your husband that were in the ibuprofen bottle, because Norco and ibuprofen really doesn't look anything alike in my experience. So I'm not sure, as a trained technician, how you could make that mistake.
Yeah, it was at night. I mean, I do a lot of lifting boxes. I move around, or I do a lot of lifting, and I have chronic back pain. I mean, it's not, I get sore a lot, and I take Motrin every day due to it. And I just got up in the middle of the night, and my husband has his own pill dispense in our closet. We have our little cupboards, and it said 600. I went to take one. He apparently had put, I don't know, one of his Norcos in there. I'm actually allergic to morphine. And it was white. I mean, Motrin 600 is white. And I thought it was the Motrin, and apparently it was the Norco. I didn't really feel that much effects. It was at night. I went right back to sleep, and next thing I know, I tested positive. And that's the only way that I knew that I'd taken one of the Norcos.
And then you also mentioned that your father had passed away in 2021. Do you recall approximately when that was in 2021?
August 12th.
And when you experienced that stressor, did you have any desires to consume alcohol or any other illicit drugs?
No, I attend the AA meetings and I practice those 12 steps. And yes, it was stressful, but with the therapy that I'm receiving and then my family members, I don't have any desire to drink, and I don't want to have that feeling anymore. I'm happier now, physically, mentally. I feel so much more healthier than the way I was 5 years ago. I mean, I'm so much happier. I never want to go back to drinking. It doesn't help. That's why I do Pilates now. I feel so much better than I have ever in my life. I mean, I felt at my age, but I feel so much better now. And to go back to drinking is just not me anymore. I mean, I talk to my mom every day, twice a day, and she's been my rock too. And and I have grandkids now, and I feel my life with so much more positive things, and that's what I want to be. I want to be more positive. You know, I want to be more helpful, and having this experience, I feel that I can share with other people if needed and help them, you know, rise above troubles that might be going on in their life.
Okay, talking about AA, so you mentioned that you have worked the 12 steps. Have you worked all of them?
Yes, I try to practice them, you know, in my life every day. I pretty much, you know, spiritually, I'm feel better. I do attend church every now and then, time permits, but I feel that they're very helpful. They've become great principles in my life, and they're helping to guide me into better ways and to how to handle, you know, stressors in life.
Was there any one step that was more important to you or more meaningful to you?
Well, the first step, admit I was powerless over alcohol, and is pretty important, but I also like step 4, that you know, searching and, you know, I have better morale, and you know, all the steps are actually have been helpful, and I don't have them completely memorized, sorry, but the you know, the prayers and the meditation, those help with everyday life, and you know, admitting that, you know, my wrongdoings, and you know, and the spiritual awakenings have also helped.
And in AA, do you have a sponsor?
No, I do not.
Why not?
I never really sought one out. In the beginning, before COVID, I was going to a church down the street, and I did have a sponsor then, but I don't know, we kind of lost contact. I got her book, she gave me a book, and I do have, you know, people I talk to through AA, you know, Monica, and I don't want to give their last name or anything, but there's a couple of people that I do talk to regularly off, like on the chat, through AA, but no, I did not get a sponsor.
So to be safe to assume that at this point, or up to this point, you have also not sponsored anybody else?
No, I've been talking about doing that, seeing if I'm, you know, I would like to sponsor someone. I feel that I have a lot of experience to do that. And I have talked recently through AA on steps in doing that.
And let me go back to your last answer. You said that you had attended a church down the street and you had a sponsor pre-COVID.
Yes, but she unfortunately did get COVID, and I just lost contact with her.
So this case was not filed. You weren't placed on probation until 2020, kind of in the middle and towards the end of that first year of COVID. So why did you have a sponsor prior to COVID if you were not required by these probation terms?
I was going to AA. It started in whenever the 2020 of November. I had to attend classes of AA. That's when my probation started. And I did go to a church, Catholic church down the street. And that's when I first started, because I was seeing where I wanted to go that was close by. And I did talk with somebody at that time.
So your conviction date was September 18th of 2019. Were you required to attend AA as part of your criminal conviction?
Yes, I did 9 months of AA then. And like I said, I did try to seek out and go to other AAs, but wasn't feeling that comfortable in the beginning. But as time went on, I found a church down the street, but then COVID hit, and I wasn't able to attend anymore.
Got it. Okay, I have no other questions.
All right, Ms. Barker, would you like to poll the board committee members about questions?
Yes, thank you. Jesse Crowley, do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you, Renee. Just a couple questions, and I'm sorry if I missed it. Do you have a sobriety date?
It's July 15th, 2019.
Thank you. And then I noticed from your petition packet that you've been a technician for several years, but it looks like you got your PTCB certification in the last few years. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What motivated you to get your certification?
Well, it's kind of becoming a requirement now, but also I wanted to be able to broaden my knowledge in learning more in pharmacy, and being able to speak with pharmacists and just gaining more knowledge in my career, and just learning more about different laws and regulations that are going on now, because a lot of it has changed and added, and it's a growing field now as far as what we need to know, and there's a lot of diversity, and I just wanted to know more and be more in tune with my license, and I learned a lot through the continuing education, and am I able to share it with other technicians and colleagues, and I also helped another technician get her certification, and she was able to pass, and and it just makes you more proud of having your license, and I think it's helpful in the field in general.
Perfect. I don't have any other questions. Good luck with your petition.
Thank you. KK Jha, did you have any questions?
No, ma'am, no questions.
Thank you. Song O?
Sorry, Ms. Little, I just wanted to confirm, do you consider yourself an alcoholic?
No, not anymore. I mean, I don't like to state myself as one, but when I do go to my AA meetings, I do say I'm an alcoholic. But I'd like to say that I'm a recovering alcoholic now. I'm not very proud of where I put myself in 2019. I just I don't like to say I'm an alcoholic, actually.
Understand. Were there any other things that you may have felt um, influenced by in your past life, such as drugs or other chemicals?
No, I never, I'm not even a very, if you want to say, a good drinker. I mean, I just thought of something you need to, relax. But overall, it didn't relax me. It just, it threw a dark cloud over me.
And in your, go ahead.
I wasn't really, I have friends I did hang with, but, I am an adult and I should know better, and so I can't really say I was influenced, but I think just life in general and growing older and having things happen in life, it just kind of magnified my influence into drinking.
Okay, thank you. And in your current job, Ms. Little, do you handle any medications or controlled substances physically?
No,
You
no.
don't. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And your work is very supportive of you, though, correct?
Yes, I'm very thankful for my coworkers, my director, my manager. They've been very supportive of me. I'm very thankful for that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your answers and appreciate it. I am good with my questions. Chair Barker, thank you. Good luck, Ms. Lulu.
Thank you.
Next, I'll ask Maria Serpa. Do you have any questions?
Yes, just a couple of questions. I'm trying to figure out the date that you had a last positive test. I know it was an accident, but do you know what the date was?
It was the June 22nd, the June 2022.
2022. Okay. And then lastly, I've worked in acute care with lots of
May, I'm
buyers. I know
sorry.
it's
It was May.
sorry.
May of 2022. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No problem. I worked in acute care with lots of buyers, and I know that that's a very unique position that can be somewhat stressful, and you are always rescuing people with their needs and keeping things supplied there for the hospital and for all the patients. How do you deal with that stress and the ups and downs? Because there's a lot of anxiety sometimes with medications not coming in.
Oh yes, for sure. It is quite stressful. I do have to seek and search and try to get medications. That there's lots of back orders, and I've been doing it for quite a number of years, so I've learned to work through the stress. I do have a good support team at the pharmacy. Like I said, I have my manager, my director, and I have other pharmacists that also support me with that. So they relieve a lot of my stress. But I've over the years I've learned to, I can only do what I can do, and I do the best I can do. So I just learned to work through it and just do my best. And luckily so far I've done pretty well with procuring drugs and I just I don't know, I love what I do, and I think that's part of it, and I have a good support team at my pharmacy, so I'm thankful for that.
That's great. One last question is, how do you what do you do when you're in either a work or a social environment that is alcohol being served? Like a happy hour after work or a family wedding or things like that. Do you do things differently now?
I just don't think about it, and I just have I really love those fizzy flavored drinks now that they have a lot of those. I don't really, it's what they want to do. It's not what I want to do. And I'm comfortable hanging with people. I don't think about it anymore. It doesn't bother me. And I just tell myself I'm happy with the way I am. I've come a long way, and I'm better without it. I don't need alcohol in my life at all. And I don't have any problem about it. It doesn't cross my mind that I need a drink or anything at all now. I'm happier without it.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for your time today, and congratulations on your journey and where you are today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Renee Barker, and I will close out with a question. I wanted to, you have talked about that the attending AA and addiction therapy has been very helpful to you. If you were to be reinstated, what would be your plans for attendance? What would that look like? Would that change from your current?
No, I like the group. I have been attending AA with the same group of people. There's a chairperson. There's always a couple of chairpersons, and I've become friends with them. And I don't think it would change at all. As far as my therapy, I look forward to it, and I do believe I would continue to attend that. I mean, I do it through my my medical my insurance, and I enjoy speaking with them. Been very helpful. So I think I would continue on with especially the AA. Because
Okay.
the 12 steps and all that.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, good luck with your petition.
Thank you.
That's the last of the questions from the board.
Thank you. I just had a couple of questions. So you're still attending meetings now, correct?
Yes, correct.
AA meetings. Do you have a home meeting? What's the name of your home meeting?
I don't have a home meeting.
You have a meeting that you go to regularly?
Oh, yes.
What's the name of that?
Oh, it's called Step Chat.
Okay. Those are in-person meetings?
I know they're on the computer.
Okay. Do they ever meet in person?
They do have places I can meet in person.
But you mostly do it like we're doing now over a video conference?
Exactly.
Okay. And you plan to keep attending those meetings?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a daily sobriety practice that you can describe for us, what you do on a daily basis as a habit?
I just pray a little. When I get up in the morning, I'm thankful that I'm here, that I'm on a better journey in life, and I'm thankful for my family. I just grateful that I'm able to be a better person now, and I try to be thankful every day, and that I've come a long way from where I was 5 years ago, and I say it every day to myself, and I try to tell other people, we just got to be grateful and thankful that we're here and do a good job as a human being, or try to.
In your study of the 12 steps, have you found that there's a relationship between honesty and recovery?
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Well, I believe you have to be honest with yourself and to realize that what you do and the actions that you take can affect someone else or something else in your life. And with the 12 steps, by following them, you can reach the recovery that's needed.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're done with the questions.
Your Honor, I do
yes.
have a follow-up question.
Go ahead.
Thank you. You were asked a question about your pharmacy technician certification, and you mentioned that you wanted to get that in order to essentially to better your knowledge and experience, but you also were required to get a national certification as part of probation, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and is that what prompted you to get the national certification?
Yes, it did. Also.
Thank you.
I
have
mean,
no other questions, Your Honor.
Grateful that I have it. I mean, I should have gotten it earlier, but it's not really a requirement at pharmacies now, but I think it should be, you know. I think more technicians are getting the certification.
Any other questions?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Jarvis, anything in closing?
No recommendation for the board. Thank you.
Ms. Luthley, do you want to say anything in closing?
I just want to say that once again that this has been a definite transformation for me. The circumstances taught me valuable lessons, allowed me to find more fulfillment, and I'm just truly thankful for my family and my friends and co-workers for all their support. And I just, and thank you also for allowing me to share today and present myself.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So the matter will be submitted for consideration by the board. Let's go off the record. Does the committee want a break for lunch, or do you want to push through? What's your preference? I'm good either way.
Any members of the board, anybody needing to take a break right now?
Renee, I think we have to take a lunch.
Okay, so yeah, we have to take a lunch. Should we just take it now?
It is noon.
Probably good timing.
Okay. All right, let's take a lunch.
All right, so petitioners that have been waiting, we still have Kiefer and the Conversio Health petitions. How long do you want to break for lunch?
A 30-minute lunch.
Okay.
Is that enough time?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Fine for me. All right, so we'll be back at 12:40.